I'm Cherae Robinson, founder of Tastemakers Africa, and you're watching AFKTravel. I think that young tastemakers should explore the entire continent of Africa. If you go to Johannesburg, Johannesburg is probably one of the most innovative places I've ever been from a culture perspective. I mean, you've got the Mabanang district, which I think can outrun some of the urban development initiatives that are happening right here in the United States. From farmers markets to Insta bike rides, I mean, the culture there is really one of leading innovation through the people, which is something that I think young travelers can really buy into. I mean, the people we speak to, they want lots of culture and touches of luxury in everything that they do. So Johannesburg and Cape Town as well is a good city for that. Moving out of South Africa, Dakar is an amazing place to visit. I mean, Senegal has just beautiful scenery, beautiful people, but they take their culture very seriously and they preserve it a lot. And then when you add the whole Francophone element, it just gives you a different, it's like Black Paris on steroids, but with the beach. Outside of that, if I looked at East Africa, I actually really enjoyed Mombasa, which is probably not something that people would say all the time. The Indian Ocean is just beautiful in and of itself, but Mombasa has a music and textile culture that's very different than mainland Kenya. And I think that younger travelers who are looking for that kind of Cancun vibe would really appreciate it there. Lagos is the ultimate turn up in Africa. I mean, it is just, to the point where I live in Brooklyn, New York, which is a pretty vibrant place. Lagos parties outdo Brooklyn every day. I think that unfortunately Lagos gets a bad rap. It is expensive, and so I think that's the downside for your average leisure traveler. You don't want to spend 4,000 Naira, which is like $20 on Chinese food. So that is a real thing in Lagos. But once you get past that, the nightclubs, the energy, the music are amazing. I mean, to be honest, that's why I built this company, because what I noticed was when I was traveling, I would literally luck up. So I'd be traveling for work and I'd be out on somebody's farm all day, and then I would come back and all of my 60+ colleagues would turn in for the night after dinner, and I'd be like still a ball of energy. And so I would just go to the club that I could find by I'm like a researcher at heart. So I'd be like looking up every blog, and it would take hours for me to figure out how I'm gonna actually leave the house. And once I did that, I would run into really cool people, and then I would have an experience because of them. So for me, it was like, if you don't have that cool African hookup on the ground, how are you finding these things? And so that's why I built Tastemakers. So one of the reasons I chose the name Tastemakers Africa and really pushed for this very kind of high-end look and feel for the brand was because I felt like we needed something in opposition to what was in the news. I used to work in development. I totally understand that there are issues, there's still rural poverty, but in order to really change the mindset of people, we had to go all the way left with the narrative. And I think that's the biggest thing. As media outlets, as content producers, you really have to show a strong, beautifully produced narrative to get people seeing differently at first. And I think the second thing is an experience. I knew I wanted to start a business, and I originally thought maybe I'd do agriculture or microfinance or something that I had done at work, and then I realized the one thing you can't take away from people is their own experience. So if you can get people to a place and give them the best experience that they never thought they could have, no one will ever be able to take that away from them. Thanks for watching. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to AFK Travel's YouTube channel.